Roger, go for deploy.
Finally got you on the show. Finally got you back in Melbourne.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, cool. Sitting here with Dave Driskell. Good morning, my friend.
G'day, Dave. I'll join in on the
This is also Tom. We brought him along.
That's true.
And, well, before we get into it, why don't we welcome Dave in with Tommy's tribute.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right, just a short little tribute for the great man here, and we'll give it a go. Sounds a little something like this. So I'm sitting here with Dave. He could use a shave, but I know that I must behave. 'Cause if I don't think this man will make me his bitch, will make me his slave. 'Cause he's ripped and he's handsome. He's fucking tanned and I look like a phantom. So please, Dave, teach me your ways for the rest of my days. There you go, mate.
I would love to teach you.
Looking forward
I
to
have a
it.
subscription. You could,
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
for a low monthly
let's explore
fee.
that, mate. What sort of
low monthly
subscription?
fee, I could teach you how
Everything.
to sit in the sun for an hour a day. It's pretty,
grow a beard.
pretty clever. That was great. Thank you.
There you go.
I feel really
First time?
good.
Do you feel a bit tingly?
Yeah, I do. That could be the beta alanine.
It's
but I
true.
don't know.
True.
I just tried
testosterone.
some yesterday. Beta alanine.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice. It does give you the tingles.
Yeah,
I
massive.
don't know if it's good or bad, but
What is this beta alanine?
it's an
Pre-workout, is
amino
it?
acid, I believe.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Used to find it in like the pre-workout stuff, but I don't take that anymore.
Gotcha.
Too
you
often.
You just take the straight stuff.
Yeah, straight to the source.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
Straight meth.
intravenous.
Well, one of my buddies, he's in Thailand. He's coming over to visit me in Bali, and he said, "Oh, can you bring me some beta alanine?" I was like, "Well, I want some too."
Yeah,
Yeah.
What is it?
Bring me this,
I want it.
Bring me all the good stuff in Thailand.
that's right.
Bring me 3 ladyboys
No,
and
I bought it-
10 kilos
I bought
of
it
beta alanine.
here. I'll bring it to him.
Just imagine that for like ordering that at a coffee shop. G'day, mate. 3 lady boys, some beta alanine and a diet
How are you
coke.
going to get the ladyboys in? Well, we'll get the beta alanine in the ladies and we'll get that.
Yeah.
We'll figure out the ladies later.
They're compact.
Mate, what are you doing in Melbourne? Tell us. What's going on?
So, well, I really like the city, and I hadn't been here in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Just finished the Open, so we thought I would come over here and just kind of, I think in my head in January, I was like, I want to go somewhere after the Open. I want to go to Melbourne. I want to catch the end of the summer because I've also been here on the winter time, and it's not as nice.
Sucks.
I sat on the couch and watched movies the whole time, but it was, which is also nice. No, and I just wanted to take some time off. My girlfriend went back to Austria,
Yeah.
so I wanted to kind of, come out here, just take 10 days off, train with a bunch of people. I'd planned on going to a lot more gyms and just try to see everybody, and that kind of comes out to my gym too. I go to theirs and see them, but then you get, I think I did four gyms,
Yeah, cool.
so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
I think I'd have to have like 30, 40 days to get everybody back in.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was so nice. I had so many people just message me going, hey, would you like to come out? We could come over to my gym, or please pop by. And I feel bad I didn't get to see everybody. But it was
Fuck
cool.
you.
I almost didn't get to see you.
Yeah.
I used to live with you here.
That's what
few
it's
years
like.
ago.
That's what it's like. I feel like I was in London after Iceland, and I got tons of English buddies, and I made a little schedule. I was like, right, because I wanted to go to Berlin. Wasn't going to do any handstands on.
Oh, yeah. I can give you that. Don't do that.
So I was like, right, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner. 3 days. I'm going to catch up with Bertie, Chris, Linda, like all these different places, different people. Had it all set, and then people have lives. Reality kicks in. You're like, fuck, this is not.
No.
People aren't revolving around me. What's going on here? This is
sure.
not what I expected. God, stop everything.
Yeah,
But it's,
I'm in
it's
town.
hard. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
It is,
Cool.
and some days I wanted to be like, yeah, I'll get up and then I'll go, and then I'm like, I don't have a car, and then I could use a train, and then I was like, well, I might just sit on the couch and I hung out with the family I was staying with. They were really awesome, so I just played with their kid and
Yeah, cool.
watched.
That's Ezra.
We watched Banana in Pajamas, and
That's Ezra. Are you saying that?
Ezra. Yeah, I stayed with Ezra, and then I went out to Cranbourne, stayed with Stu. Yeah.
I like that. Cranbourne.
Cranbourne.
Very, very American.
Whatever.
Man, it's Cranbourne.
But hang on a second.
But it's not.
the same as-
It's Melbourne, but then people say Cranbourne. I hear them say
So
Cranbourne.
hang on, Cranbourne.
No.
No. It's definitely Cranbourne.
Isn't
Come
it?
on, mate.
Yeah,
Do a
it's the
Yui.
same rules apply.
I thought that, and then someone else, I heard him or someone say it Cranbourne.
Was he American?
I don't know, maybe. Because I threw that out and I was like, you can't use both. You can't have Melbourne and then...
No, you're right. You got to stick to your guns, mate. You're spot on.
One or the other.
Yeah.
It's confusing
Cranbourne's a weird
language
one.
as it is, Australian.
It is. It's very strange.
I mean, I speak it now.
It's just, yeah.
Living in Bali.
I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can. Should we? No, we probably won't explain the most important thing that I taught you when you were living with me.
Oh, that's great. I tell people all the time.
I explained to him. We'll go through it.
The 3 variations.
I explained to him the 3 ways that Australians use the word cunt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's true.
Yeah. So there's obviously like the term of endearment.
Yeah.
Like which
G'day,
is,
cunt.
and it's all about the tea.
Yeah.
Like
It's all about the tea.
A light tea.
It's true.
A light tea or even no tea.
Yeah.
G'day, cunt. What's happening, cunt?
Yeah.
And
This guy's been really nice.
Yeah. Let's be buddies. Let's be mates forever.
Hey, let's role play it out.
Yeah.
Let's role play it out. All right. Yeah. Well, so you can't
How you going, cunt?
Yeah. Oh, I'm quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a sec though.
What?
Forgot my wallet. What a cunt.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
fuck, man. You know what, mate?
What?
You're a dick.
That doesn't make any sense. You cunt.
Exactly. And that's the hard tea. That's the one you shy away from.
Yeah.
It's all about the emphasis. The use and the emphasis.
Emphasis.
I've told that to many people since you taught me that. And some of them, I tell it to mostly Australians, and some of them are like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, he's learning our language. But I try to use it as a proper thing. I'm like, oh, my friend Bill Kerr told me how to do this. So Adventure Fit, you should...
It's the only thing I've really like passed on to Dave.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I love it. Yeah. And then you don't try to bring it back to America.
Yeah.
I've tried, and it doesn't go over well.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's a friendly cunt.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
okay,
Yeah. It's not what you're thinking.
No, it's not.
It's just spelt the same.
That word, it is a harsh word, though.
It is, but
done correctly.
Why is it harsh? Like, honestly, what is the difference between that terminology of the female reproductive organ and dick? Like, what's the
No,
difference?
but it's because it's
How it's
not
used.
it's not it's who and what you use it on. You know,
Yeah.
you say what's the difference between the word like love and cunt? They're 2 4-letter words.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like what you apply it on.
So-
you apply the word cunt on terrible things.
Yeah.
So if you're
Yeah.
called a cunt, you're associated with cunts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And also, like, vaginas are cool. So
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I am a cunt.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm the nicest, openest cunt you've ever met.
Move on. Let's move on
a whole
from
hour
there.
of that.
Hey, Dave. So for people that don't know you, like, who are you? What do you do? First and foremost, before we jump into any more vulgar
Languages.
We went right to 100 there.
Yeah. Oh, we might as well get it done. I'm Dave.
Thanks. What
Driskell.
else?
I'm from America. I currently live in Indonesia, Bali,
Yeah.
and I own a CrossFit gym there called CrossFit Wanderlust. That's who I am, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's what I am as well. That's what I've been doing. I've been out there I've had the gym for 2 years, opened it up. Kind of helped, thanks to you. I'll have to give you some credit for that. You gave me the motivation to kind of you basically just said, just fucking do it. Go do it. Just do it.
I had no idea that was the case. Still, I listened to that other podcast the other day. So thanks for
great.
that.
No, of
Made me
course.
feel really. I was like, what?
Yeah, I give him a little shout out. Yeah. No, it was. I mean, I'm originally from America, but started traveling, got into Bali, kept coming back to Bali, and kind of saw a need to, not necessarily need, but I wanted to open a gym there. And then I saw a need that could be fulfilled more than it was being fulfilled. And I wanted to do that. And I thought I had a different idea, a different way to do it. And I think I've really done that, and I really love it. It's my favorite thing now to do. And we were sitting in the car in New Zealand on one of the Adventure Fit travels trips. And that was a plug. For your own,
On the own podcast.
even though we're on it. Yeah. By the way, listen.
They've already sold the deal.
That's like a great company.
Should I plug the podcast?
Yeah, do it. Yeah. People that are listening aren't listening.
Yeah, but I remember we were driving somewhere. It was beautiful in New Zealand. It was after I think we saw those big donuts.
Oh yeah.
I think I really remember that. And we were going and we were sitting, both in the front seat talking, and me driving on the other side of the road or whatever. And you're like, you should do it. Like, why not? Like You've already had the idea. You've already kind of planted the seeds a few times. You have an investor. You have a friend that can help you out maybe, and just go there and do it. And then I came here for 2 months and stayed with him, and then I went and did it. It was cool. Like I didn't really know how. And the original plan And my original friend that had some extra capital, he wasn't able to do it. And then I met some other people, and it was kind of we were able to just kind of get it going and grassroots, and then it fed itself, and then we were able to buy equipment and do more and more. It was amazing, and it's completely changed my life.
Quite motivating, actually, to hear someone say, like, you know, but I mean, you hear most people that do these sorts of startups that don't really have any idea what they're doing at all. They just have this really great idea, this really amazing passion, you know?
The only thing I knew that I knew how to coach. I knew, relatively well, and I've been to so many gyms. I knew what I liked and what I didn't like. And I coached at other gyms, and I knew what I liked and didn't like. So I wanted to take all the aspects that I thought would make it great and do that, even down to the color and the paint and the branding and all that stuff is fun for me to like do, and I think it worked really well.
It's funny you mentioned that you didn't know what you were doing, you didn't know how to get into anything. It's funny for people that probably are listening to this show right now. Dave's got the most successful gym in Southeast Asia and going to probably be the world. It's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Adventure Fit's going really well, you know, blah, blah, blah. People probably think that we know what we're doing, but we still don't know what to agree. I don't know if you agree, but I have no idea. I'm like, what? This is how, like, I'm still figuring stuff out. Like, now we're further down the line and, you know, we know more.
Sure.
But, like, when we was probably viewed as relatively successful, like, we still had no idea. You know, you just got to figure it out on the way. Jump in and jump in and learn to swim.
Well, I think you guys have done like the branding of it too is so good. And Sam, I think, when I first met you, and you know, you look at your product and it looks like this massive company, and you're like, oh, it's just me in the beginning doing all this stuff, and now it's, you know, it's good. And that's what's important, you know, like. You almost plan ahead. Like, I want to be this professional, and I want it to have this. It's not a facade, but like I want this outcome. So I do this first to get there. And like, even with mine, it was a little bigger than the gym needed to be, maybe. But I was like, I want to see if I can fill it up. You know, we'll put a big, you know, sign up and do all this stuff, and we'll get people to come in. And it did it. You know, I think I had it easier. I just built a product and tried to kind of keep it, you know, I guess growing in a way that I want by making it fun, making it my style, making it very welcoming, and making it good for newbies and regular athletes. And I think that, and then also we're in Bali, so it's quite a destination place. People are going to want to train. But, you know, other people had tried to do it. I just wanted to make it the best place ever. I always tell people that there's two parts. I made the gym for the athlete or for the client. So I wanted to have everything possible. Like, I want every toy. I want all the fun stuff. I wanted enough room, you know, good toilets and showers, and like I want to build it for them. And secretly, it was for me. I want to have all the toys.
You are that athlete.
I want to do it. And if people come along, then good on them. And
that's it. Yeah, you start a tribe and you get your community rocking. But I think what Adventure Fit and Wanderlust do so well is like they have that real, I guess, emotive. Like people like the idea of training at like this gym in the middle of this beautiful, you know, place in Indonesia where it's like it's Wanderlust. Like, people are living this amazing lifestyle. You know, they want to be surrounded with like those sorts of people. And same with Adventure Fit, where people want to take this, you know, they just want to make the decision and go all over the world and be surrounded by it. It taps into people's emotions, I think, you know, which I think is so powerful. Yeah,
for sure. And it's so funny that you actually have the name CrossFit Wanderlust. Because from the very start, like, there was one word attached to the whole plan.
CrossFit.
And it was, and it was Wanderlust.
Yeah,
I remember you,
CrossFit Dave.
CrossFit Dave. I remember you went through heaps of like trouble getting that name as well. And to see it like fully come to fruition, the way that it was planned in the very beginning is bloody awesome. I tell you what, I reckon we have both done well, I think, is, and we touched on it, is the branding side of it. Because I see a lot of companies come out and start out, and it's like, yeah, cool. And you obviously have to walk before, or walk before you can run, crawl before you can walk, whatever that saying is. But I think if you hit the ground, if you hit the ground running with some epic branding, people take you seriously. You know, like from the very start, I would get people that were, when I started on my own social medias promoting Adventure Fit, people, this is like first 3 months, people were reaching out and saying, hey, this is really cool. Who's this big Adventure Fit company you're working for? And that's, remember, I used to tell you, I'm like, big Adventure Fit company's fucking me. But I think it's important to fake it till you make it. You know, people buy in, and then you just got to, hopefully you do make it. You just got to figure it out on the way, everything else. So.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we just had our 2-year anniversary And I'm looking at pictures popping up, and we had like no floor. It was just the cement. We like painted the cement, like to make it like a little nicer than cement. and we had like 2
cement,
strips
just
of
with
rubber, and people came in, and I'm like, God, like look at it now, going, fuck, I wouldn't want to work out on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, because there's nothing else. There was only a few other options, and now like the important part was like, all right, if we make a little money, let's buy some floor. Now let's expand the rig. Let's buy more barbells. Let's do this. And we were able to do that relatively quickly within the first like 6 months of growth. And then we expanded recently. And then now this year we're going to expand even more. And we're adding some ice baths, office, and treatment room. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. We got the cafe open a little after you guys were there, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen the cafe yet.
And you're right. Like it's, I got trouble with that. Or not trouble. I had a really hard time getting Wanderlust. I'll give you a real quick story. I had applied for it in 2013 when I was like, I'm going to open a gym.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you can't use that name. It was a movie title. Like, so you're not allowed to use movie titles or city names now, remember?
Weird.
So I was like, oh, that sucks. That's not really a title. And it was a good movie. It's Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Yeah, great director, David Wayne, directed that. So I was like, I like that movie, but that sucks. I can't get a name. And then I applied. So then, the gym kind of took a little hold. And then 2014, I think, or 15, I applied for it again. They're like, no way. And so I just was in California at the games. I was talking to my buddy Steve, and he knows some of the lawyers there. And I was like, man, I really want Wanderlust. Like, it's so attached to me. Like, I'd been hashtagging Wanderlust WODs since 2012. It's like my thing, and that word is so powerful to me, and the journey that got me here. And Steve's like, oh, let me see if I can just text one of the guys I know. And the next day he's like, oh yeah, we approved it. I'm like, what? So I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, because it would have been CrossFit Temple Island or something like that.
Which still
sounds like
cool.
a game show.
Yeah, still would have done the job. It just wouldn't have had the same feeling for you. I feel like. You know
this
what I mean?
is so true to my heart, and like the brand of it, it works well. And then everyone loves the word Wanderlust now.
It's funny, like, it's actually quite surprising to me that you've only been around 2 years. Like, I just feel like, as long as I've known CrossFit, I've heard of CrossFit Wanderlust, So I guess it's probably another, win for the branding side of things. That, like, I don't know,
maybe we were subconsciously branding you before we
in my
even
head.
opened.
CrossFit Wanderlust is a
Playing
thing.
videos in the odd little...
It could be.
Quick dick pic.
I had the Wanderlust WOD, and I would always tag that or hashtag it, and I would also kind of put it in the little text. Maybe people are always like associated Wanderlust with me or Bali or CrossFit.
So Dave, let me ask you this then.
Sure.
So why the word Wanderlust? Why does it have such an emotive feel to you? And what is the story of, you said Wanderlust is what got you to where you are now. So because I think that's the most interesting story that you can tell is like where you went from in the US, like regular life, like what people are doing day to day. And most people probably have this dream, this goal, this thing that they want to achieve that they don't have the balls, the know-how, the confidence, like that. They don't want to go and do that, or that something's holding back. And I'm sure you had the same thing. I had the same thing. And what happened? How do we get to now?
Well, I guess it was. I'd always wanted to go to Thailand. I'll give you the quickish story. In 2009, I got real sick. I was hospitalized for 11 days. I had E. coli bacteria poisoning, or not poisoning, but bacteria. My whole insides was just ravished. So I was in the hospital 11 days, almost died. It took me. I went in. I lost shit a lot.
Yeah,
it just came right out. That's what it was. It was basically my colon, and everything was shedding itself, and it was just coming out of me. I woke up Halloween morning that way, and it just, I went to the hospital and stayed there for 11 days. I ended up like blowing up. They put all these IVs in me, up 10 kilos, and then when I left, it was down 20 kilos. Whoa. It was crazy. Like my body went through a lot. It took me about 2 months to get back. I couldn't barely walk, and I was just super, I lost everything, all my glutes, abs, ass, and like all your, like the back muscles. I was just,
he just looked like a pole.
Straight
down. Yeah, it's crazy. My jeans, I wore skinny jeans, but it still come right off.
Yeah, like that real bad looking, kind of junky looking stripper.
It wasn't a good look. And I actually had...
you must have looked awful.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I was lean.
Yeah, true.
People are like, oh man, you got so lean. I'm like, yeah, but I almost died. They're like, oh, I would have loved. I'm like, I'd love to lose 10 kilos in 2 weeks. I'm like,
you should do die.
Like,
are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude, what diet do you want?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Anyway, so I had booked a flight to Thailand. I was already kind of minimalizing my life. I had gone through some like big changes of work and things, and what did I really value? And this is through the economic crisis in 2009 in America in 2008. So I was like, I don't really need to buy diesel jeans and buy DVDs every Tuesday. Like that's ridiculous, or have a car payment and these things. And so I had gone through a few jobs, switched it around, and then I got this ticket, and I was like, I'm gonna go for 45 days and check this place out. Thailand, I've always wanted to go. This is before Instagram, before you had access to see all these things. I had one friend who went out there and did Thai stuff, Thai fighting.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, it's so cool, you should go. Your money will last a long time. It's fun. It's like, oh, cool. And then, I got sick, and then the doctor's like, no way you can go to a foreign country right now. Like, my flight was supposed to be about 10 days after I was in the hospital.
Fuck.
So quickly I canceled that, obviously. I took a job in Texas running a bar and restaurant. I said I'll give myself 2 years doing that. And it was a really fun job, and a lot of drinking, a lot of having fun, and it was something new to me. Did that, but still had that longing. 2 years, I was like, I'm making good money, I'm having fun, but I still want to do something different. I want to have this something change in my head. And I didn't own much. I had sold a lot of things. I recently bought a car just because I needed one, and I was like, all right, fine, I'm going to still go. I sold everything but my bicycle and a couple pairs of clothes, and left it in storage. And then I took off to Thailand, did the Southeast Asia 6-month backpacker thing, ended up in Bali, and then came back home, was new at coaching, coached a little bit, still didn't know what I did, came back to Asia again 6 months later, and then found myself in Indonesia again. And through Instagram, some people said, oh, there's a job opening in Jakarta, would you like to coach? So I said, oh yeah, why not? That'll keep me in Bali longer in Indonesia, I'll do it. Did that for 3 months, then I ended up coaching at another gym in Bali. That was a new CrossFit opened there. And then it just, got me to that point where I really think I can do something here. I don't know if I kind of went off the path a bit of that, but that's kind of how I got to Asia. Yeah, and then the whole Wanderlust, I think the definition is one's desire to find himself or herself through travel or adventure kind of thing. It's kind of be interpreted. And mine was very fueled by, I love traveling. It was really exciting to see these new places. I needed to see something completely different than America and
a real culture
and live
shock.
in different cultures. Yeah. And it's completely changed my worldviews on religion, culture, everything. Completely. I grew up in a very, religious, Christian, American kind of style upbringing, which was great and taught me a lot of things. But living somewhere different makes you go, we're not all the same.
Yeah, that's right.
We are all the same, and we shouldn't be dictated by what our state or our government or our area says we are. Because come on, we're ridiculous. We're all the same people. Yeah, and it's been great. I love it, and living in a different cultures helped with that. Yeah, and then opening a business was just the next step. I was like, I really would love to open a CrossFit gym here, and people are like, why not back in Texas or in California, and you have a following. And I said, well, I really like Bali. I want to live in Bali. You're like,
have you been to Bali?
I'm like,
I
could open one in California and not have any money.
You guys know Milkamadu? Is there one of them in Texas? But that's great, Dave. I feel like all three of us now have probably travelled, pretty extensively. I feel like you really get that amazing kind of new way to look at the world when you do get a culture shock.
Sure.
It's very different to... I love travel, and I love travelling to Europe and the United States and
you
stuff.
You love travel?
Yeah. And Europe and the United States, but I don't get the same... I think you really need to get out of your comfort zone. You really need it, because the two things that happened for me that really opened my eyes with travel was seeing a really old woman selling a little handicraft on the street in Bolivia. Bolivia's the highest capital city in the world. La Paz in Bolivia, highest capital city in the world. It was would have been 0 degrees. She's sitting on the cold concrete, and she reminded me of my grandmother. And I just walked past, no gracias, kept walking, and then I looked back, I'm like, fuck, that chick just really reminds me of Nan. And then I thought about what she was doing. This poor old woman was sitting on the... that really opened my eyes. And then I had another experience with Everest Base Camp, and you just see these little 14-year-old dudes carrying building material up base camp. And that's what they do all day, every day. And those two things I remember very, very vividly really shocked me, really fucking hell, how lucky are we? And so forth. And that's why I like traveling when you're out of your comfort zone, because I like feeling like I survived the day to a degree. You know, like, fuck, that was a fucking weird day. How the fuck did I get back to the hotel fully fed?
Yeah.
Like, I'm all good, you know.
Yeah.
But also, you learn more, I feel like. you learn more. Not that traveling in Europe and America doesn't teach you things, but the further you can get out of your comfort zone, then the more life experiences you're going to see. You know?
Do you know what really fascinated me with what you said before was like you mentioned the whole religion thing. I find spirituality and philosophy, you know, all that sort of stuff very fascinating. And, you know, you mentioned because I grew up in the same way. I grew up Christian, you know, went to church every Sunday, all this sort of stuff. And I sort of teetered on the edge of, you know, into my early 20s, falling out of that sort of stuff. And the second time when we went to Mexico and you learn about the Mayan culture and all this sort of stuff, I mean, we've grown up with this indoctrination of the kingdom of heaven is this beautiful place on clouds and all this sort of stuff. In the Mayan culture, their heaven is this eternal shade under a tree because it's just so hot there that all they want to do is be under a tree.
Makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense.
That would be heaven for those guys.
It'd be absolutely fucking heaven. Yeah. I mean, we were there in the winter and I was like, I want this tree right now. You know? But it just gives you this amazing culture shock. Not culture shock, but it's just like, wow. Like, you know, there are 7.5 billion people on this planet right now. I could be wrong. You know, and that's great.
And you should be willing to understand you might be wrong.
Yeah.
And if not,
Yeah.
And it was really great.
That's the thing. I mean, I had this conversation with my mom, and she's like, "Well, do you still believe in Jesus?" I'm like, "Oh, I mean, I believe some of the teachings, and I mean, but I'm like, how can I live in a country or I live in a state in Indonesia, Bali, that's predominantly Hindu, and Hinduism's been around longer than Christianity? And are you saying these millions of people are incorrect? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, it kind of hit me overhead. I'm like, oh yeah, we can't just be like, oh, we're right and you're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where war comes from.
Yeah.
So we're right, you're wrong, and we're going to try to make you believe the way we do. So let's fight.
Yeah.
And it just made me. I don't know, everything. I don't know. Every issue has changed in my life. I think that's part of growing up, but also I want to live in a world that's more pacifist, more like people want to help each other. Like I'm really big on, you know, helping other people, and if you rise up, you can help this person, and then they help each other. And I know it's just kind of
pay it forward,
kind of thing. But I feel like for what I see on the news and stuff back home and all this, we're losing that battle pretty bad, and everyone's fighting to get better. And then my way is this way, but like even like the gun issue, we won't have to go through that. But it's just like why can't we lay down our right to have fun to help save someone's life? It's like ridiculous that we can't even get to that point, like, or it's not. We can't even have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
I lost my best friend online, or my real best friend growing up. Last year, I posted something about like not even about taking guns away. It was like maybe we can really control this better. Like let's just do more checks and let's have like a 30-day waiting period. Let's do all these things that can possibly prevent. If it prevents one, it's worth it. Oh. And we're not friends anymore. He got so mad. He thought, "Stop taking my guns away." I'm like, no, I didn't say that. I just said, let's do better. Like if you can't agree as a society we can do better, then
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
We always should be trying to improve.
And I want to do better. I want to, and I can't do much from Bali. I can vote and say, you know, I want to make it stricter and harder. Yeah. But it's crazy that we're at this point where we're fighting over that. And
the gun thing's a funny one because I feel like as a society we are moving forward in a number of different ways. But the gun issue we are not
in America.
I feel like I've always said, and I might be totally wrong, but say for example, a president came in and fought the NRA and said, right, we're going to take your guns away, or we're going to make major changes, right? That's going to be the same as that's going to be the second Civil War.
Well, I was just going to ask.
I feel like that. It's like the same thing. You can't Civil War. You can't do that to us.
Yeah.
We have our rights for slavery and so forth. You can't do that to us. We have our rights for guns. We have our rights to bear arms. And that the actual the whatever amendment is the Second Amendment. The way that it's written. It actually backs up the gun owners to take on the government that's trying to take the guns away.
Tyrannical.
You know what I mean? It's like it's basically like a prophecy nearly.
It is.
The Second Amendment,
Self-fulfilling.
How it's written.
But the sad thing is, it was written back in a time when you never had like automatic rifles and shit that could go. It was like really like I'm gonna
load.
Who needs a fucking automatic? Who needs an automatic weapon? Even just take away automatic weepons.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they say they don't have. I mean, I don't think you can have one. You can have a semi-auto or.
Gotcha.
But there's even the ones that aren't automatic. you can still pump out a lot of bullets out of it, and maybe that's not needed. But like, I mean, I get it. People want to hunt. People do that. Like, just do make it harder.
Yeah, just make it harder.
I proposed this to my father. I said, if you love guns and you want to have guns, cool. But if I, the government, said, hey, we're gonna let you have your guns, but I'm gonna need you to wait 30 days. I need you to take another test, and you gotta every year have to have a psychological evaluation. Yeah. But you can have all your fun toys and stuff, and you'd be like, yeah, sure. And I told my dad, I said, if you had to do all that stuff and it made it way harder and it's a little more inconvenient for you, but one person didn't die from those massacres, is it worth it? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, and my dad's a conservative guy, and I was like, there you go. That's all I'm saying. And if no one can agree to that, fucked. Yeah, well, crazy. You don't have to even take them away. Just make it hard. Like Japan has guns, but it's just really hard to get a gun. But if you really want one, you can get it. Like
I mean, it's a fascinating, like, you know, and again, I always try to look at every situation as objectively as I possibly can. I understand that I'm Australian. I mean, I was 3 years old when they took away our guns in '96 after Port Arthur. So I've never grown up with this issue being prevalent. Sure. But, you know, I just think that, like, if you want a gun for the right reasons, because I just want to hunt, like, you'd be more than happy to wait. Because you're not doing it. You're not, like, there's no emotion in it. You know, it's just like, I just want to fucking hunt a deer. It's like, great, man, do it. But just chill for 30 days, you know, before you want to kill everyone that doesn't believe in your God.
It seems simple.
It seems
it is a
so
divided
simple.
issue in America.
But you know what's really interesting? So we were just in California recently, which is largely Democratic. And we were having this chat with Jason Kleiper, you know, and the whole time, this is not just Jason Kleiper, but like we're having these chats with other people that were around that in that area. And, you know, there's a left and then there's a right side of politics. But even on the left, they'd always say things like, oh, but it's just such a complicated issue. I'm like, really? Yeah. I can't see it like that. I'll never be able to see it like that. Yeah. I'll never be able to see the fact that, like, massacres are happening every day. And I'm like, you're telling me it's complicated. Like, after children are getting shot, right. You know, like, wow.
Yeah, the complication is that there's money coming from certain people into the government, which sways
It's complicated,
decisions.
mate.
Yeah. But I think for the most part, if you're a human, most people want to save other human lives or take steps to do it. It's just that's what blows my mind. Like lose a best friend on Facebook. Because of it. Like, and I'm like, but let's. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, that's a long conversation, and it's hard. It's sad too. But you know, hopefully we can get there somewhere. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like always like, oh, it'll just take a big thing to happen to change it. But big things are happening, and no one's. There's a
mass shooting every day. Mass shootings more than 2 people, so 3 people die. And there's a mass shooting every day in America.
The young kindergarten, like that saga was like, if that's I can't think of anything worse than young children dying. Like, that would be it.
That thing in Vegas, like, that's, you don't...
College kids.
What's bigger than that?
YouTube?
Yeah, like, how much bigger can you get? Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I was watching, again, on my basketball thread on YouTube, where it just plays on repeat. I was watching...
Is
Charles
LeBron
Barkley
pro gun?
If LeBron got pregnant, how pregnant would he get? I don't know. I should watch this. 5 minutes.
He was pro gun.
It was Charles Barkley and Shaq, and it was after one of the recent massacres, and they were talking about they were very thinking and coming from the left a lot, although they own guns. They were very it was very interesting, and I agreed with a lot of what they were saying. But one of the things that they said, they were like, a gun buyback would never work because we have too many guns in America. I'm like, well, just because you have too many doesn't mean that, like, even taking... But it's not even... It doesn't have to be a buyback.
40% of them.
It doesn't have to be a buyback. Like, people will hand over guns. Yeah. If you say, we're going to do this, everybody get on board, maybe 60% won't, 65% won't, but people will. You know, like, just because there's too many doesn't mean, like, we can't take some away and make it a little bit safer. No. If you keep saying there's too many forever, there's going to be more and more and more and more, and there's always going to be too many. Like, it's just... It was such a... That was another argument. I'm like, how can this... Like, you know, let's arm teachers up. Oh, we shouldn't really use it. We could use the whole hour, but let's get more guns and arm teachers up. Who the fuck, like, Mrs. fucking Smith in art class with a fucking, all right, I'll take him down. Yeah, like, that's never going to work.
I've got him.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's weird that someone who's like a French teacher would not know how to use a gun. I will get you all.
Anyway, so Dave, do you reckon, this is something that I've always wondered, and I've wanted to ask you, do you reckon, are you Bali for life, you think now? You reckon this is
my girlfriend.
Your home?
I really like Bali, and right now my business is there, so I'm happy to be there. But I like being able to travel. I think we were kind of mentioning this. I like that this is a hub right now. Obviously, I want to be there for my business, and I don't want to step away from coaching and teaching and programming, because I truly love that part of it. And like I think once I see a lot of gyms, once the owners kind of step back, you see a bit of a change and stuff. And I still want to be completely involved because it's my love. It's what got me there.
Yeah, that's right.
For now, I really like being there. I have a really good lifestyle. The money's good there. The bang for your buck is really good.
Yeah.
Like I can live in a nice villa, I have a pool, and I have that hour of relaxation a day. Like I'd rather make less money and live there and have that little time to relax and reflect and kind of recover, as opposed to just grinding out, through traffic and stuff. I lived in LA, I lived in Texas, and I really enjoy it. I like this little village mentality as well. I get on my scooter, and I usually see someone I know on the way to work, and I'm like, hey, scooting along.
Beep,
and, really, ciao.
Yeah.
And I like it for now, and I have a girlfriend. She's liking it too. She goes home to Austria sometimes, but she comes back, and we're really starting to get in this kind of good groove there. And but more importantly, like I can jump off and come here for 10 days. I can go back to this. I'll go to the States in August, and I'll go out there. My sister's getting married, and I want to go to the games as well. And so I for now it's living in Bali, but I can still go visit places and travel. And I don't know, it won't be the end, but I would like to expand more and do some other things. And the business is going relatively well, so I can step back enough. I have some good coaches in line, so I don't mind leaving for 10 or 15 days and coming back. So I dig it. I mean, I really had a good time here. I was like, maybe I can start coming here when the weather's good. I'll start coming here for like a month or two, maybe kind of train. I like to do more things. Like we're trying to do other businesses and things like that. So I don't know. Like for now, it's good. I'm also, since my thing in 2009 where I almost died, and value life very well. And I always tell people, not live in the now, but don't squander the days.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind where I am now. I'm happy and I'm healthy and I'm living good and training and eating, and it works for me. I'm not. I haven't since my little almost death thing. I haven't really thought like where will I be in 40 years, or where will I with this? What about my retirement? What about this? Like I'm just happy.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a little, I don't know, some people might think it's a bit careless, but I'm also very, very good where I'm at.
It's very strange that people would think it's careless, because like the goal of everyone is to be happy.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Dude, it's not good.
But it's not the goal.
But
it should be the goal.
It should be the goal. It should be the goal.
It's not,
exactly.
I
I was so worried about it back in the day. Like you go, what do I do? How am I going to survive? Or what? I need to find a career. And I was the guy who never knew what I wanted to do. And like right now, this slotted in, and it's like it's exactly what I want to do, and I'm really happy. Yeah. And I feel like I'm actually making positive impacts on people's lives, and for me that's great. And I'm still awarded the time to be able to. I mean, not many gym owners are able to leave for 10 or 15 days at a time, and I'm very fortunate to have a good kind of crew there, and set up the foundation for that. And right now Bali works pretty good for me.
Would you ever want to set up multiple Wanderlust gyms? Have you thought about that?
Yeah. There's a bit of I have some things going on right now. We may expand, and I've had interesting conversations. A lot of people that visited, like, oh, you got to open one up in Croatia with me. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Or Perth.
Oh yeah, Perth.
So
Croatia or Perth.
So some exotic areas.
Yeah.
So like it's really it's a compliment, because a lot of people are like, oh, I love the way your gym is and run, and I'm like, well, is that just because it's in Bali or is it I think it's partially the way we run the classes and the vibe and the community, and would that work elsewhere possibly, but I looked into those kind of ideas, and just as a way to teach more people or reach more people too. Like I really truly believe that I wrote "Building Better Humans" on our little slogan in our gym, and that's kind of really what I want to do. And that's through fitness and community and just like good vibes, I guess.
It's rewarding, Like I had this conversation with a friend of mine on the weekend. And he's gone through a period where he doesn't really know what he wants to do with himself. He's kind of like really demotivated, so on and so forth. And we were talking about finding something that you're passionate about that gives a positive impact. And I feel like Tommy's just started his journey. We're lucky, man. Yeah. We're lucky, because he asked me how AdventureFit started. I didn't start AdventureFit. AdventureFit just started. Sure. And then I was like, oh shit, I have a business now. And so it wasn't a thing that actually. That's why I think a lot of things could have gone wrong, or a lot of things did go right for me, and probably you yourself as well. But I think we're so blessed to be able to have something that is a positive impact, because then, you know, it gives you the ability to work hard and not feel like you're grinding yourself into the ground, because, you know, you get so much reward back. You know, you get, it's like anytime you do something good for someone else or positive impact someone gets their first pull up, someone loses some body weight and comes and thanks you, someone does something that they never thought they could do before. You know, you get that little, oh man, that was awesome. Like you ride
You're
that
doing
with
something,
them. Yeah, you ride it with them, you know?
Yeah.
And,
it's a massive dopamine kick.
Yeah, I think we're so lucky to be able to do that. And I think, I think it sounds like, see, my problem is I still work way too much. But I feel like, see, Bali has always had that, you know, I've talked to you about it so many times about moving over there, you know, because just to have that little bit more simpler life, because we don't need
less distraction.
Yeah, and we shouldn't be working as hard as we do in life, you know,
for no reason. Like if you have something that you're doing it towards.
But I think there's that shift that, like, I think as a society we work even more hours for either the same as what we were, you know, maybe 30, 40 years ago, and there's more of a struggle to get it. But there's also that struggle that the consumerism has grown insanely over the years. Like even from what I looked at as a kid to now, and even with me, it's less because I'm out of that. Like I don't see billboards.
Yeah.
I don't see.
I was just looking over there. I'm like, there's a billboard. There's a billboard. There's advertising.
I don't see commercials anymore.
Yeah.
Like me and my girlfriend watch Netflix. It's great. We don't have cable TV because what are we going to watch? And I noticed that when I pull myself back, I mean, that may be part of it. I stopped consuming a long time ago because I was kind of like, I don't need shit. I just need gym clothes and food. And
some good beard oil.
Beard oil, And I'll fly back into California and I'm just driving and I'm just like, oh, there's a store, a mall, there's a shopping center. Like it's just in your face everywhere. And then so the desire to have that means you need to work more to do this, and you know then you get into debt, and then you got to pay the debt off to buy the things you don't need, and if you can kind of cut that out, then you value everything more. Like I stopped using credit cards in 2008, and I said, if I want it, I'll save up my money.
Exactly.
Or I said, you know, I don't need to have that yet. I'll be okay. And it's surprising how much less stuff you have to buy.
Do you know? I mean,
and I like that part of it. I don't know, like, the simple life for me right now works in Bali.
It's there's a documentary on Netflix actually called On Yoga, something about architecture of yoga essentially, and you know they interview all these yoga teachers and these very sort of self-aware, mindful characters, and the biggest word they keep saying, which is the determinant between happiness and sadness, is desire. You know, and they see all these people in the Western world, and they're always running around trying to like fulfill all these desires and all these sort of have to get this, which means I have to do this, do this, you know. And if you just limit what you want, you know, or if you can just take it back even just a few things, you're just so much happier because life becomes so much easier, and then you can use all that more time to actually doing things you want to do. You know,
it's and then you find stuff that's achievable.
Yeah, that's right. And the very sad thing is, I'm not saying that us three have it all perfectly, but I think we're on the right path. You know, that a lot of us, we don't really know what we want, you know, because it's just, you know, with all this distraction all the time, it's very hard to spend any time with yourself, you know. Sure. And like, if you don't know what you want, you're buying things to I guess like
fill the gap,
fill that void,
fill the void that doesn't need to even be void. Like, and so it's just it's an interesting concept, desire. I think
just to briefly touch on that, like, you guys would all know this too, like being a backpacker or taking these long excursions, and you're living out of a backpack for 6 months, you really start to realize the things you need and don't need.
Yeah.
And you come back and you go, oh, I'm pretty good. I'll buy some new T-shirts and some shorts, and you don't feel that you have to do that as much.
Yeah.
And like it stuck with me, and everything that went with it. Like you find a peace with yourself a bit. You find you're okay with doing less and not always having to be like fulfilling little hours of your day. Like when I first left, it was the first time I ever was alone, and it wasn't like, hey, what are we doing today? Let's go. So it was like, I don't have a text. I'll just get up and eat breakfast, and then I'll lay in bed and read. I have nothing to do, and it was like really freeing to have this like complete openness. I had no emails, I had nothing. It was, I think that huge break in, I've always worked really hard, like this huge break in like not having a job, or not working at all, really opened me up to finding my passion. So even now, like I work a lot, I work hard, but I really value the time where I'll put my phone back or I'll lay in the pool for an hour. And like people are like, oh, what are you wasting an hour of day? But I'm like, yeah, but that's what I need to continue this kind of, I don't know, good feeling. I still feel free from backpacking, even though there's a few days like every month or something, I'm just like, fuck, I want to hide from everyone. I don't want to look at WhatsApp. I sometimes will turn on these YouTube pointless videos just to clear my brain. And I need that. I'll tell Anna, I'm like, I need to just fuck off. I need to just need to think about nothing but business. And which is weird. I don't know if you ever have those like where you feel like everything's coming at you.
All the time.
It's mostly because I'm behind on a lot of things or getting back to people or emails, and I'm just like, I don't want it around me. And then I just kind of clear it out because that's how I felt during my like travel times. And then like, after an hour or so, then I'm like, all right, let's get some shit done. But sometimes it hits me hard, and it's not scary. I'm just like, now I have a big company. I have employees. I have this. I have to make sure everyone's all right.
People rely on you. That's a scary feeling, knowing that you have to be there for things. I've always been able to just step away and, if I want to have a week off work, just for whatever reason, I can do that. And now, with staff and people that need you to be there.
I'm only just getting into that, and I got a message from my VA last night, and I completely forgotten that I was late on paying him. And I was like, he just messaged like, hey man, just wondering when it come in. And I was like, oh, what? Like I thought I'd paid you. And he's like, oh no, I'm just, and then he wrote like, oh, I'm just a little bit behind on money and it's a bit short now. Is there any chance I could get my money? So I'm like, oh fuck man, I'm so sorry.
I haven't eaten today, so can you hook us up?
Haven't eaten 14 days. It's like, you can go one more day, mate. Think about your desire.
We got to get you out of here, Dave. Unfortunately, we could talk all day.
All Dave.
We've got 6 from 6, 3 questions from me, 3 questions from Tommy, and we've got about 3 or 4 minutes to wrap it up.
What's
They're
your
going to be rapid fire. So my first question, mate, is favourite travel destination, favourite place on the planet.
Ooh, I think I travel more or visit Thailand.
Really?
Like, because the calm beaches and stuff like that. But New Zealand was amazing.
Yeah.
And Iceland. It's hard when you go to that many. But for different specific reasons. But like I'd say, I think Thailand was the first foreign destination I went to as far as like, whoa, this is completely different than America. And that was like, it blew my mind, some of the beaches and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, but I wouldn't live there. I would like it to be my holiday place, and then Bali is like where I live.
Cool. Dream destination, same thing, top your bucket list.
Where I haven't been yet? I don't know. I'd like to do more South America or Peru or something like that. Yeah.
Good answer.
Haven't done that.
Good answer. And then finally from me, any book that you like to recommend to people, can be graphic novel, can be comic, can be same thing, can be autobiography.
Reading. I should do more reading.
Can you read? I can.
There's a book I read. I read a lot more when I was backpacking. I had a lot more time, and now I'm just stuck to this. It's horrible. What is the name of this book? I'll have to get it back to you. But as far as graphic novel, The Watchmen, great. I have that sitting on my stand. Yeah. Read that a few times, and I actually like the movie.
Yeah,
a lot of people gave it shit.
Soundtrack's amazing.
Oh, great! They're supposed to do. I think they're supposed to do like a miniseries.
Oh yeah,
I heard. Possibly.
Is that the superhero movie?
Watchmen's sick.
Yeah.
Watchmen's so good.
With the blue dude?
It was the only graphic novel to make the top 100 novels of all time.
Oh, shit.
Time magazine.
Oh, wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a really good book.
So good. Tommy, you're up.
Who's someone you look up to?
Oh, besides you guys.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't look up in it. I don't know. Like, I've always looked up to my father because he's just like the smartest businessman I've ever met. And, for a long time I struggled with like, am I not good enough? He's so smart. He does all these things. He ran companies, and and we've had a lot of conversations. And he gave me the nod of approval. Because I think he was like, "What's my son doing? Just traveling the world?" And then he's like, "Oh, I'm really proud of you." I flew him out last year to see the gym. I was like, "I got it. I'll pay for it.
Sick.
I want you to come out." And so I look up to him, and I really want his approval, but also we're a total different style.
Yeah.
He and I are completely different. And he's like super smart business guy, and I'm like, I'm the travel CrossFit tan guy with tattoos, you know, like. But he was like, oh, I really like what you've done. So my dad, I look up to.
That's great.
Yeah.
We touched on this a little bit before, but maybe something that we don't know that you like to do when you have some downtime, something different.
Yeah, I mean, my downtime is, you know, I mean, CrossFit or coaching and being in this like spotlight all morning and all day is quite tired, quite a lot. I think you know, having a little downtime, me and my girlfriend will sit at the pool and kind of decompress and talk or not talk and be on our phones. But it's funny, even like people are like, oh, you want to go out tonight? Or you can do this or that, and we'll honestly order food in. We turn on Netflix and watch TV, and we sometimes don't talk because the whole day you're output, coaching, training, talking to guests, and it's a lot of output. Yeah. And that time is just to calm back down. And people might look at us and go, man, you guys live a boring life. You don't really go out or do much, but our whole social interaction is throughout the day. You guys know as CrossFit coaches, for sure. You don't have to go to a bar afterwards too often because
you got no words left.
Yeah, you're done. You're like, I've talked today a lot. It's good. And that's completely different than my lifestyle in Texas, where I would, you know, be running a bar, talking to people all night, drinking and doing these. So it's a cool difference for me, and that's my downtime is just like we like to watch a Netflix show and just chill.
Well, the sad thing is, you know, we've got to move. Yeah, just a quick point. The sad thing is that I think maybe the reason why so many people go out and get drunk all the time is because they're actually craving the social interaction. You know,
I'll have to jump in and we'll just get Dave to let us know where we can find him.
Oh, we really got to go.
Yeah. Okay. Mate, sorry to. We had one more question, but we've got to get you out of here.
I'll ask you after.
Where can people find you, Dave? Where can people find you? Find out more about Land by the Pool.
My gym is CrossFit Wanderlust, so www.crossfitwanderlust.com. Our Instagram is the same, CrossFit Wanderlust _Bali on Instagram, and I'm just Dave Driskell. You can find me on that too. Easy, Canggu in Bali.
Beautiful.
The biggest gym in Bali. Almost, I think, in Asia. We might
as
we expand. Yeah.
Soon to be.
Yeah,
soon to be.
Definitely.
Thank you guys for having me.
Loved it, man.
Beautiful, man.
Took us
Thanks,
long enough to do this, huh?
Yeah, we got it.
I think next time you're in Melbourne, we'll block out 6 hours.
6 hours, yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I can talk all day.
We'll get into the beard. I want to get the beard.
Yeah, we can get into the beard.
I'll dive right in.
All right, brother. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show.
No worries.
And
fist bump? Fisting?
Yes.
That's a wrap.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.